Okay, we should be live. So say hello when you hop on. We just want to make sure that we give you guys a chance to pop on. Make sure you guys can see us in the feed. Yes, I see us. We're good.
Sweet.
Diana says, hi, ladies.
Hey, Diana.
So I'm with Delaney. You guys probably know that by now. If you're just hopping on and you're not sure what we're doing, this is an opportunity to hear from one of our Reach Retreat guest experts and speaker this year, Delaney, and talk about a little bit of what she's going to be bringing to Reach Retreat, talking about the importance of meditation, breath work, yoga. We're really excited. So if you can catch the live, great, ask questions. We'll have some time to interact with you and try to answer some of them. Also, if you catch the replay though, Delaney and I both will be coming back to the live feed and answering questions. Also DM us, like if there's a personal question you don't want to put in the feed that you're curious about it, like we are here for you. Diana said she's here for a little bit, so we're excited too. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're just gonna dive in so we can be respectful of y'all's time. But I'm Danielle Throckmorton. I'm the founder of the Reach Retreat, and I bring in and cultivate women into a space that's really intentionally designed to allow for you to step away, to really figure out what's in alignment with the life and business that you want. It's based around creating a life of intention. And so we know that a lot of times when you're attending retreats, it's like very business focused, or it's very self-help and more personal development. And Reach Retreat is really the perfect combination of both, because when I was looking at it as an entrepreneur, I knew that life and business go hand in hand, and we really needed to give attention to both. And so it's a holistic, like full approach. And Delaney just brings magic to Reach Retreat. And so each year, this is her third year with us, each year, she gains some kind of skill, some kind of certification, or something to bring more to us as attendees. So Delaney, I'm going to let you actually do like a formal introduction of who you are, what you do, and then we'll just dive in from there.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Delaney Berwalt. I am a certified holistic wellness coach, a certified bar and yoga, meditation, and breathwork teacher as well. So on top of all of that, my college degree is actually in chemical engineering. So I'm also an engineer. So I like to say that I blend the science and the spiritual with all of my practices and teachings and everything, all of my offerings. So you get a little bit of both. You get the, research-backed science facts along with the practices that really get you in tune with your higher power, with your intuition, with yourself, which is so important as a business owner. I think just to kind of play off of what Danielle was saying, how there's two sides of it. You have your life and you have your business. I like to think that your business can really only grow as big as you're willing to grow. So that you have the personal development side of being an entrepreneur. And then you also have the business side of being an entrepreneur. You have to be willing to take the action that your business needs to grow, but you also have to be willing to turn inward and do the personal work that it takes to be the person that you need to be in order to allow your business to thrive.
Exactly. And that's one of the best parts is when Reach Retreat was first, thought of, I, even as a leader, had known that I wanted to include yoga, but I hadn't really explored breath work. I hadn't explored meditation. I hadn't explored manifestation, those type of things. And as I got further and further into entrepreneurship and realizing like what we carry is heavy, there's a lot of responsibilities. We wear so many hats. We have stress. I mean, stress is a real thing. We have anxiety. We have fears. We have a lot of unknowns that come up and a lot of different emotions that we need to know how to deal with, so that the energy that we project in our business or to our family is what we really desire to put out into the world. And so when I talked to Delaney about continuing with us for this 3rd year and coming to Savannah, and I was like, we could do yoga in the park and we could do breath work in the courtyards. And then she was like, you know what? I'm actually kind of interested as well as speaking. And I was like, yes, like, please, because we just love what she brings just during that intentional time. And so we started talking about what does that look like? And she said, I want to talk about manifestation. And I want to talk about the quantum leaping part of it. So for people who think like, as you said, as an engineer, like having that scientific backing, and then also kind of our more woo side, which is like something I so appreciate in my own life. What is manifestation? And like, why were you passionate about educating retreaters on that?
Yeah. So, just the definition of the word manifestation is to, bring it to awareness, right? Like to bring it into reality. So you can think about it like goal setting or like New Year's resolution setting. But that only gets you so far, right? Like you have that idea of what you want to achieve. And sometimes you have a plan of like, this is how I think I should achieve it. But how frequently do we kind of get veered off track or we don't follow through? That it happens a lot. There's a lot of people that set goals and for whatever reason, life gets in the way, it gets busy. You don't end up achieving that goal. So what manifestation brings to the table, from my perspective, is, manifestation is that process of knowing where you want to be in your life and in your business, and then showing up as who you need to be in order to achieve that. So instead of focusing really on the how do I get there? How do I achieve my goals? You switch your perspective a little bit to think about who do I need to become to have that, to achieve that goal. So it really turns into more of the inward meditation, kind of just turning inward and really analyzing, my future self, like who is that? How do they think? How do they feel about different things? How do they feel about my career? What is their relationship to money like? What is their relationship like with their family, with my family? What does that look like? And then deciding to just take baby steps to become that person. So it's really just having that idea of where you want to be and thinking about who that person is that has those things. Who are you when you've achieved everything that you want to achieve? Who are you when you're living your dream life, when you're living your life of intention, and then taking those steps forward to become that person? So then you mentioned quantum leaping, which is definitely that quantum leaping is very scientific term, right? Like it's quantum physics.
Right.
But in terms of manifestation, it's really just collapsing the time, because in physics, quantum leap happens instantaneously. So it's really about taking where you are now and thinking about where you want to be and shrinking the time that it takes to get to where you want to be. And so that is really what we're going to dive into. So I don't want to give too much away because that's really what we're going to get in deep on, is what that looks like and how do you make those quantum leaps happen?
I almost feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, Diana, I think just hopped off, but this is kind of her area too, which she's one of our speakers, is embodiment. Like I'm like during my meditation and like and when we talk about meditation at Reach Retreat, Delaney guides us. She really guides us through these visualization exercises that allow you to really be present with what does that future self look like? What does the non-burned out, exhausted business owner look like? What kind of money is she making? What kind of impact is she creating? How does she physically feel? Does she feel sexy in her body? Like we get deep about like who we really want to be and embody that feeling so that we can also start thinking in outside of retreat. Is the decisions that I'm making actually moving the needle? You hear that? Like, are you making needle moving steps in the right direction? So if you've embodied who that person is this woman someone that holds her boundaries? Is this a woman who doesn't work for a corporate company anymore and she really steps into who she is and what she was created? So is embodiment like a good way to explain embodying that future feeling?
Absolutely. I'm so glad that you mentioned that because there's 5 steps in manifestation, which is what we're going to really talk about at Reach Retreat. And embodiment is step 3, embodying that feeling, that future feeling of what it would feel like to have everything that you desire.
Yes. And I always say like the life that we want and desire, I've even said this in the Reach Retreat marketing, it's closer than you even realize. It truly is. It's sometimes like you make this decision or this decision, and that can be kind of intimidating. So when the idea of retreating is to step away, you don't have outside influences, you don't have houses to clean and people to feed and chores to do and inboxes to answer. Like you step away and you are Danielle, you are Delaney, you are focused on what you want, and so that you can then show up as that person that you desire to be without all of the cloudiness. Like you have that clarity at Reach Retreat to take the next steps. I feel like we're getting deeper than we even intended, but so when I say intention, I'll say like intention is literally an action. Without taking steps, it's mute. Like you're not going to make forward momentum. And so it all goes back to like Diana's message that I shared for Gabrielle's live last week. Like, are you in the waiting room? Because nothing good happens there. We have to step out. We have to take that action. So this is like so full circle. And that's what I love. Like the intentionality that goes into figuring out who the right speakers and leaders are is seeing how everything ties together. And so when we're talking about aligned sales strategy, we're doing the work at Reach Retreat to embody how we show up in our business and who we want to be. And like, it's literally like connected. You can just see how it flows together. So anyways, now, okay, so we don't want to go deep into like the 5 steps of manifestation or anything, because that's the Reach Retreat experience with you. But when the ladies kind of commit to this experience, we don't want them to show up confused, stressed, not knowing each other. It's intimidating, like to be around like-minded women. Like a lot of the women would say, I was actually kind of scared to like go to this retreat, not knowing anyone. So we talked about how we have a group that we set up a couple of months before the retreat where we start to get intimate with each other and get to know each other. And Delaney was like, I want to bring something unlike I have ever done in the past, because it is a little bit more intimate than the past. So can you tell them, would it be okay to tell them a little bit about like what you have in the works?
Absolutely. So when you sign up for Reach Retreat, you are also bonus going to get access to our 30-day meditation and journaling challenge. So last year, we're starting, I was having my first breathwork and meditation session at Reach Retreat. And, I just asked the question, how many people have never meditated before? Half of the room raised their hand. Half of them had never sat down in stillness with themselves, which I just got chills. Like,
I know. Well, and guys, remember, Reach Retreat 2022 is like an intimate ratio. So we have 10 attendees and like 6 leaders. Reach Retreat last year, we had four leaders, and then we had 28 total people on site. So this is a total, half is a lot of people.
Yeah. Yes, it was a lot of people. So that being said, I wanted to just bring something to the table to allow everyone to get their toes wet a little bit. Dip your toe into the pool that is manifestation and meditation, just getting a baseline so that you've done it before, you know what it feels like in your body, you have had a little bit of practice with it, because during the 30-day challenge, I'm only going to ask you to meditate for 5 to 8 minutes max. That's it. So it's not like you're having, like, all of a sudden you have to be a, professional meditator and sit there in silence, completely still for 30 to 60 minutes. No, I still don't even do that. Also,
that's what people needed to hear from you is like, am I going to this retreat and I'm just like zoomed out and into this like meditative state the whole time? And no, but it is the biggest gift I gave myself. And so it was a non-negotiable that if I'm doing this work behind the scenes and I'm seeing that it's growing my business, and these women at Reach Retreat are doing that, it needs to keep being a part of your business plan. Like, it needs to be a priority. So anyways, okay, go back to what you're saying. So half of them said no, and
so half said no. So we're bringing this to the table. During these 30 days, it's short meditations. Like I said, you're just practicing, right? You're just getting used to what that feels like.
Mhm.
And there's another misconception, I think, that meditation, you have to, be in lotus pose with your legs and like, sitting there like completely still. No, like, maybe that might be your goal. It does not have to be your goal. The point is really to just shift your awareness to the present moment, to give yourself something to focus your mind on. It might be your breath. Like you could sit there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and just keep your awareness on your breath and you're meditating.
Okay, so I have to hit on that, and people may think I'm weird, but when I first started meditation, and it was a little bit before you came to year one retreat. I had read Super Attractor and kind of got into this little bit of a vibe and listening to Insight Timer. And it kept saying, return to my breath. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm breathing. But like, honestly, for people who haven't meditated before, it's almost like we need to go back to that basic sometimes. And it was like literally breathing in and breathing out. Like I would tell myself that in my head, like deep breath, breathe out. Like that's what, I don't know if you could explain it better, but when you say like, pay attention to your breathing, some people are like, well, I'm breathing. Like, how do I pick? Like, but what she's meaning like too, is like, if I tell myself like breathe in, breathe out, I'm not focusing on other things. I'm literally presently breathing and I'm aware that I'm breathing. Is that a good way to explain it to people?
Absolutely, because you're breathing, the process of breathing is the only bodily function that is both voluntary and involuntary, meaning that you will breathe, your body will breathe if you don't think about it. But if you focus on your breath, you're able to control how you're breathing. So, little tip, here's your fun fact from this video. If you get nothing else out of this, please take this away. Your breath is a direct reflection of your emotional state. Mm-hmm. So if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling stressed, if you are just feeling all of that tension in your body, chances are you're breathing very shallow in your chest and it's very rapid and short, right? Fast breathing. And that means you're in your fight or flight response, your stress response. So when you start to feel those feelings, when you feel the fists clenching, the shoulders tightening, the jaw tightening, you're shallow in your chest, your heart's beating really fast. What do? You can close your eyes. You slow down the breath. Try to inhale all the way down into your belly, breathing into the belly. So many people are breathing in their chest and they're hyperventilating all day long. And that's why they're feeling so stressed. So if you can just breathe deeper, all the way down into your belly expands. You got to kind of, forget how it looks, because yes, your belly does get a little bigger. That's normal, right? The 3 lobes of your lungs extend all the way down to your belly. So breathe all the way down there. Slow down, count of 5, inhale for 5, exhale for 5. That's all you have to do. Just lower the breath, slow it down. You'll feel everything release. And then you're in your rest and digest relaxation response. If you can take 2 minutes and slow down. That is how you bring it back into center. And just that's what I mean by focusing on your breath, right? Is like being aware of where you're breathing in your chest versus your belly. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Can you slow it down? Count of 5. And if count of 5 is easy, count of 6 or 7, maybe even 8, right? And that's just all practicing. You can do it a lot easier the more that you try, right? Just like anything else.
So the idea of the meditation challenge, I want you to expand on it because I keep interrupting you, but it's because I feel like I have to share that, because when people say return to your breath before, I just be like, I don't know what she's talking about. Not you, but like on the meditations, I was like, I don't really understand. And it doesn't feel good when you don't understand. So the idea of her challenge is to educate every single one of us, whether we have done meditation, but maybe not with Delaney, which you guys are in for a treat, but I want you to expand on like, that's why you're doing that as a bonus.
Yes. Yeah. So, half of the people last year had never meditated before. So it's really just giving you the chance to understand what that looks like for you. Because if you want to, it's going to be recorded. So if you want to go for a walk and listen to it, then that can be your moving meditation for the day, right? When your awareness is focused on something, that's all meditation has to be. So it's really just kind of trying to break your preconceived notions about what meditation is and helping you find your version of meditation. And I think after even just 30 days, you'll start to realize how much of an impact it's having on your mental and emotional state and how much clarity it brings you. Because that's what meditation has done for me. It has brought me so much clarity for my purpose in life, for, what I want to do with my business, the people that I want to work with. I think clarity is the best word to describe it. Just it's been
And I
very
feel like that is why it so perfectly aligns with Reach Retreat, because it allows you to have clarity. You walk, even if you think you've got things figured out, every single testimonial video, everything that you hear, the written testimonials from past Reach Retreaters, that is one of the best parts of experiencing this. So I always talk about like foundational work, whether that's physical foundation. This is the emotional foundation. This is the part of you building a business and a life upon a foundation that is sturdy. When I take the time to breathe, I take the time to be present with myself, I'm showing up better for my community, for this live. Like right before we got on, I had transitioned from like a networking event into like I have all these things I need to do today. And Delaney was like, let's get on early and let's breathe. And we did a breath work exercise even before we got on here. And she was like, okay, so now you can drop your chin to your chest and you can slowly open your eyes and return to the room. And I was like, I don't want to. Like, I really crave and enjoy being with myself. And that's something that I hadn't experienced before. I was always in this state of anxiety. I'm an event planner. It's one of the most, I think it's like the top 7 most stressful jobs. And I'm always like creating checklists and I want to do this and I want to do that. And it's like, just be, it's okay. And that makes you better all of the rest of the day. So I just wanted,
I think that scares a lot of people. Like you said, just being with yourself, it can be scary at first, but once you become acquainted with that feeling and you can kind of get past that first hurdle, it just opens the infinite possibilities, right? It's magical, truly.
I agree. So that was our goal, guys. We wanted to take about 20 minutes or so of your time and just give you an overview of this experience with Delaney. We have optional time, obviously, at Reach Retreat, but I do feel that this is essential. And so in order to really prepare you, that is her gift to attendees, is to be prepared for 30 days, like just working on yourself too. And think about that, like 30 days before you even show up at Reach Retreat, you're getting into intention. You're getting into this mode, ready to receive everything that's coming to you. And so we hope that this was helpful. If you have more questions, you can definitely ask. But manifestation can be one of the biggest shifts for your life and for your business. And it's neat. It's neat to see things be realized that you've envisioned months ago, years ago, days ago. So we'll wrap up if Delaney doesn't have anything else to add. And I just wanted to hit on a few Reach Retreat things at the very end. So do you have anything else that you want to share with anyone?
Just really open your mind to the idea of what is possible and just think about what it means for you to slow down and spend time with yourself and what it feels like to shift your awareness to your breath. And just don't be afraid of welcoming in all of the possibilities, because Reach Retreat brings it for sure.
Yeah. So that's where we'll end. Is if Reach Retreat has been on your radar, we're going to give you like a call to action to intention and action. Like if it is on your radar, ask questions. The application link I will put in the post. It is free to apply. There's a few short questions that I ask you. We hop on a Zoom just like this. We have coffee or tea and chat to see if it's going to be the right fit for you. The best part about Reach Retreat is if you own a business, you're a female entrepreneur, you want like-minded people and you want to grow and expand into the life and business you probably couldn't even really realize at this moment that is possible for you, then Reach Retreat meets you where you are. So it is for you. If you are ready to clap for the other woman, you're ready to do the real work, be vulnerable and show up as this woman who desires to create impact, like you can't go wrong. But we need to chat about what that looks like for you, because it's just as important to us that the right women are in that space. We've already had 5 ladies say yes. So Reach Retreat with the 10 attendee spots is 50% sold out. And January, we still have a few days left. If you book in January, you do have 7 flexible payments. So that's not the so fun stuff to talk about, but it's important to talk about how do you get into this space. And we just want to invite you to experience this with us. July 14th through the 18th in Savannah, Georgia. We're staying in an 1800s historic estate. We're doing a fun blend where we have our private on-site chef, but we're exploring the city, and we're going to do local eats, a whole day at Tybee Island Beach, yoga in the park. Like, it's just, we have a private courtyard. It is so, the details are just so much fun. So go check those out on the website. And if you know someone that needs this, share it with them. And I think that's it. So if you don't have anything else, I think we'll wrap up.
Awesome. This was so much fun. I love this.
Me too.